Good day and welcome back to Elementary 72 Gaming. So, I'm starting again with another Tower of God Walk Up the Tower, and this time it's episode 71 to episode 80. So, let's get started with this, and just a quick heavy disclaimer. If you're going to be squirmy, I suggest that you stop watching this video and the next video, because the next two are going to be very squirmy in terms of the nature that you're going to see things happening inside the story. So please be warned about that. I'm giving it ahead of time. So yeah, here we go. Alright, and I have also done 4 chapters already, and actually had to redo this here twice because once was a medium blackout that just hit out of nowhere, and the other was my PC crashed. So yeah, here we go. Okay. So we see that it's kicking up with the new squadron commander fighting White, and you can catch his swords. Alright, this is how it's going. We see that it's Cat Tower again. Don't feel bad, I'll kill you. Okay, here we go. Catching. We can see he has multiple arms. Okay, so I am going to be moving through this a little bit faster. Hopefully that's not a big problem. You sure talk a lot. I haven't even finished my second combo yet. There's still more, but I can block them all. Alright, very impressive. You really are good at blocking attacks. But I wonder what you will do when there are too many swords to block. Ooh, yeah, that's White. He's only swinging one sword. How can there be this many sword strikes? And here we go. Here comes the gore. As I said, these chapters are gonna have a ton of it. And there we go. Totally cut off all his arms. Now, this is just a show of White's skill against high rankers. Remember, this is a high ranker level member because they're squadron commanders, so high ranker levels. Remember, Chuniha is high level. We're expecting it to be around the same level. And remember that White is right now at the same level as Calavan. He's no longer that low level he was all this time. You weren't completely terrible enough either way. This actually doesn't seem like such a bad way for it to end. I was so busy playing with that sandbag that I let the mouse get away. Remember, there was a mouse here when he started? And we see White behaving silly and making squeak. There's a soul waiting to be devoured on that field. Now we know that he's after Bomb Soul. He wants to eat the irregular soul. So let's see how this goes. And here's another of the squadron commanders knocked out, and you can see Karaka's armor. So yeah, it's Karaka and Doan. They're not so tough after all. Then again, there are 2 of us, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised. And Doan is talking to Karaka casually. Don't be so sensitive. I just meant that you've gotten more human than before. Follow me, kid. Now, next to Doan, Karaka is a kid. I told you not to be so arrogant. Karaka is getting irritated with you again. Okay, and here we got Han Sang-yu versus the cat person, Hasracha, feline person. You smell like a hypocrite. Okay, so he's calling Han Sang-yu a hypocrite, and actually there's something crazy here. Going around trying to gain the independence from Jahad. True nature of true hypocrisy, helping the weaker. Okay, right. I hate people like you. You can't run forever. Okay, and there's it. We see Han Sang Yu was pulling Han Sang Yu, and he was blocking the water from the drainage system, and now he's just gonna let it fly against his Racha. Okay, and there's it. He explains he's been using Ishinsu like a dam, and now we can use it to attack, gaining extra power where he can't have extra power. Smart. Use the force of nature amplified by your restriction. Rumble. Where am I? This must be the room that the acid has been dropping down into. So there's acid here. Okay, so that's crazy. And there's a mouse. Too late. And there's acid firing off towards Han Sang. And they're fighting across this here. I may be busy, but I certainly have time to rip you to pieces. If I were you, I'd be more worried about drowning first. I've got you now, and there's it. Water assault, Shinsu assault. He knocked the mouse into the acid. It's dead. So that's what Han Sang Yu did. Okay, when you want something, isn't it better to destroy it so that someone else can't take it first? You really are twisted. Okay, so here comes some really complex things, and something to note about me just before we go on with this chapter is I don't really have a standard order good and evil definition. My order of good and bad is whatever makes sense and can hold up against sense isn't bad, basically, and whatever makes sense is good. So provided it can make sense, even if it's the slightest of sense and it has a resemblance of sense, I believe it's good. That's the way that I work in my head. So when you hear me saying things like way to go, or you see me rooting on a bad guy all of a sudden for no reason, that is the main reason. I don't really care about good and bad. I only care about the logic of the situation. Like, not killing someone in a war is illogical. You're a villain. You're basically the villain of the war by not killing them. That's my weird opinion on it. Although I don't really believe that it's a bad thing not to kill a person, but it's just the way that I see it. If it's an actual war and there's someone to kill and you don't kill them, you're gonna cost your own people's lives. That's the way that it is in reality. In real war, if there's an enemy in front of you and you don't take the shot, that enemy takes a shot a few minutes later, you kill the other person by being too scared to kill them. That's just something that I have to say, because you're about to start getting some weird type of confusion here, and hopefully it doesn't mess your head up in any way when I don't comment in the same way that you'd be thinking that someone's a monster or this guy is bad or whatever, right? So yeah, let's go for it. So we see the logic here. You could attack my teammates if you get onto the field first. Or are you a cat incapable of thinking that far ahead? Okay, and we see that Han Sang Yu is messing with him. You're really getting on my nerves. I've had enough of you. And alright, forget about catching mice for now. I'll catch you first. I can wait to tear you to shreds. He's transforming, and there's a transformation. It's a lot like the canine transformation, but it's different. They call it beastification because it transforms their whole body. Canines only do partial transformations. Okay. He's so fast. Okay, and here's the first hit. He's too quick to track with my eyes. I can't dodge him. I'll just have to put up a Shinsu screen. He just passed right through the Shinsu screen. Okay, what in the world's going on? I can't avoid him or block him. How is he doing that? You look surprised. Then again, most of the people I fought have died with that look on their face. And we can see he is super quick. He just ripped through. According to what I was told, he's supposedly a very rare genius, even among the 10 great families. This is a very big thing if it is correct, because you're supposedly a very rare genius, even among the 10 great families. That means he's a 10 great family member, which is something I didn't know about Han Sang. And if it is correct, then I know which family he's part of. That's the Handolok Blood Matter family, the Blood Matter. So yeah, that's who he'd be part of. I know he was raised by Handolok Blood Matter and thought about V because of Handolok. So I wonder what's going on. And that is where this episode ends. So yeah, for the most part on that episode, it's a quick fight between Hasracha and Han Sang. It was the quick defeat of one of the squadron commanders from Jahad's army. And the reality behind it is that the high rankers are powerful, but they're not super powerful, which is what we made to understand. But they definitely can't keep up with the Slayers. The Slayers are supposed to be ridiculous. Chun-Yi Ha only managed so much against Karaka because she had so much of reinforcement. If she didn't have it, she would have had a tougher time against Karaka. And Karaka even proved that he was just holding back against her to stall them. He didn't have to kill them immediately, he just had to make them act hastily, and he can do whatever he wants, like World of Darkness, or he can do some other crazy skill and finish them off. Okay, so let's get back to this here. So he's either a 10 grade family member or raised by a 10 grade family member. So that's why they're calling him a genius among the 10 grade families. Okay, we're about to get Yasracha. Before joining Yasracha's army, Yasracha didn't belong to the Lopobia family. He belonged to the Rashangs. Okay, you're gonna get something weird from me. I'm actually gonna skip most of this chat. I'm just gonna go through it very quickly. Okay, so the Hashrangs were attacked by Yasracha, and Yasracha stopped it when he made an agreement with Hasracha. He told Hasracha to come fight with him and he'll leave the Rashangs alone, right? And he told them, basically, Hasracha said, don't be ridiculous, he can't do it. And then he realized he'll do this here just for his people because they're too afraid to face Jahad's army, right? And that's how he became a feline. And he fought for the army, and all of his wealth and all of the achievements he achieved, he kept giving all of those rewards to the Hashrangs, that whatever remained. However, he also felt very guilty about it because he kept killing species in a similar situation to his own. Besides all of this, there were some other things that came up with it. Like, the more he fought, the more he became more feline, and he couldn't help but staying in the feline state. And originally, the Hashrangs didn't ask for much. This is exactly what's being talked about here. But as he started giving them, their requests became bigger and bigger, and as he granted the request, it became heavier and heavier for him. Eventually, he had to fight even more, and he became more and more feline. And his people became lazy and subordinate, that Hasracha will provide everything. And okay, yeah, there's just it. He became more feline, and without noticing it, he became totally feline. His body and mind had already passed the point of no return. Okay, I actually gave this away a little bit early by accident. Okay, and the less frequently he saw his people, the more distant he became from them. A long time after an incident occurred, when Hasracha began reducing contact with the Hashrang, some Hashrang felt like Hasracha had betrayed them. Okay, and they came up with a plan to betray him, so they're gonna go and tell the family leader everything he's been doing and offer, not family leader, Yasracha, they're gonna offer one of their leaders in place of Hasracha and hope that he takes it. Instead, Yasracha cuts off the messenger's tongue and he basically tells Hasracha he's gonna have to kill all of his people so that he doesn't end up dying because of all of the problems they're gonna cause. And Hasracha vowed to kill all the Hashrang himself, but obviously he was lying. He went there with a group of loyal felines and he took dead bodies from another battlefield and painted them like Hashrangs. And he didn't take bodies, he took people and he slaughtered them, and he made this big scene and he took pictures of it and he sent it to Yasracha. At the same time, as you can see, he evacuated his race onto a floating castle, which a floating ship, which was his backup plan for saving his people. And he took the few members of the feline army to help because he needed them to keep the army afloat and to protect the Hashrangs. However, within this whole situation, the Hashrangs began to treat the feline people badly and demanded them to basically give more and more. Eventually, at one stage, a feline person attacks back when a Hashrang is attacking them and they kill them. And that causes the Hashrangs to become even more oppressive on those who are their superiors and demand that they give up their privileges and start giving more and more to the Hashrangs. And eventually this year continues to such a point that the feline people leave and Hasracha is left there and he thinks to himself, this is bad. There's nothing they can do right now. The ship is going to fail because without the feline people it can't be maintained and they don't have anybody to defend them. And he was thinking to himself, if this was the old me, I would have been happy to have died with my people and died for my people, but something has changed in me. I'm not that happy to die for them anymore, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave these people. I'm just going to leave. So he turned his back on his people and he left. And basically that's when things get worse and this whole place falls apart. The Hashrangs were celebrating the fact that they were without the felines, and they started to feel like they were superior, and all they wanted was equality, equality, equality. That's all they were ever asking for. They never actually worked to get it. And this is a political statement basically, but a very subtle one, that you can't just have equality upon equality upon equality. You must earn your equality. So even if we have people like the Hashrangs in reality, if we keep giving them equality, 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 just making things randomly fixed for them, we're going to break other things while we're doing it. And those who have the skill will be chasing them away from where we need them. And we need them as much as we want what they have. And that at the end of the day is one of the big things about equality. You can't just keep going for it. You must earn the equality. You must learn that level of skill, because no two people are equal in that way. Skill is something which is totally different, and at the end of the day it's being pointed out here that if you don't have the skill to do something and you fight for it and you don't learn the skill, you're going to end up dooming yourself in the long run. You can lead yourself to a worse disaster than you ever thought was possible. Okay, so yeah, this is still the part. Okay, over he began seeing his people and the Hashrangs more objectively. He found himself standing somewhere between the Hashrangs and the felines, two poles of a magnet. Maybe he was the one who had changed, not the Hashrangs, and maybe it was his own fault the Hashrangs had ended up like this. Yasracha was right. If he doesn't choose one of them, either the felines or the Hashrangs, this will never end. In the end, he would have to abandon one of them. And in that moment, Yasracha made up his mind. and he extended his claws as a symbol of the felines, and he abandoned them. The only thing left of his lineage was the marks on his face. Ah, okay, right, there's it. And yeah, we're back to the fight with Han Sang-yu. Watch out behind you. What? Smash! The acid is gathering in one spot. This isn't good. He could actually hurt me. I thought you were a division commander in Jahad's army. Are you afraid of a little attack like that? Or can you not defend yourself against acid because you're too small and light? You can instantly reduce your body size and weight to almost zero. That's how you dodge my attacks. And you look so much faster because you got smaller, isn't that right? Okay, alright, so he keeps trying to attack Han Sang. Something didn't make sense. If I was hit with a direct attack from a high ranker, it should have killed me instantly, yet I'm still standing. I didn't notice it before because you were so quick. And this was so... okay, right. Is that all abnormal abilities come with risks. You can't attack me or defend against my attacks anyway. Even if you attack me with acid like just now, I can't just avoid it. Alright. Because now I'm going to gather all the acid in this place here. Dechensu has a unique ability to pull anything towards it. It's called a black hole. Now this is where things get irrational. Black hole type Shinsu only belongs to irregulars. Remember, Shinsu black hole is the attack that Balm uses, and Balm can use it because he's an irregular, right? And just like a black hole, it sucks in everything around it. Only downsides are there's a lot of restrictions in terms of its power and how big I can make it, and I can't stop it once it's been activated. But even with a little area like that, it's more than big enough to gather all the acid in one place and cover you with it. Brace yourself, you're going to get sucked into it soon. You're much lighter than the acid right now. And there's it, he got sucked in. Now there's a little bit of a misconception over here. When it comes to big gravity items and black holes, the heaviest items come in first, and then the lighter items come on top, and some objects that are heavier will sink through the lighter objects, and that's how it goes. Okay, so we see that Hasrascha realizes he won't last long against this. I have a way out. What? The mouse. But how? You didn't actually think I killed the mouse. I pretended to shoot the mouse into the Shinsu and capture it in a bubble. I made it as sturdy as possible, but I was afraid that it would melt soon because of the acid. But thankfully you fell into my trap sooner than I expected. You were messing with me this whole time? Of course. I've always been a con artist. Okay, I'm not a hypocrite. I just really want to tear down this world that Jahad had created. I wasn't helping the weak. I wanted to encourage those who dislike Jahad to draw their swords and fight him. You know nothing about me, about who I am, why I want to defeat Jahad, or even where it all began. This is something now that makes me even more curious about Han Sang-yu. I want to know where all of this began, why it all began. What are you talking about? Well, so long. I, I'm just hoping I'm absolutely wrong about what I'm thinking about Han Sang right now in my head. It just can't be. Han Sang-yu's real name might not be Han Sang-yu. And as I said, he was friends with Hando Lak Bloodmatter, who was one of the friends of V, actually one of V's best friends, alongside Khun Adwan. And if you're thinking about it, it's Khun Adwan, Hando Lak Bloodmatter, and V. Han Sang over here managed to sweet talk Khun Adwan, and he managed to be raised by Hando Lak Bloodmatter. It's a possibility that he's some kind of remnant copy of V, or piece of V. Okay, so we see here's Hasracha's death, and he sees all his people calling to consume the rest of him. Why don't you take this disgusting tattoo first? And we can see this is his death. His mind is going crazy. And we see they say they already have one of those, so that's not what they want. They want everything else. And here's Bam. Won the battle within the time limit. I didn't think he'd be able to beat their leader in 10 minutes. Maybe I underestimated him. He's definitely stronger than a Rancor. Don't show any weakness, my master is waiting. Okay, so you see Bam is moving. No matter what sacrifice I have to make, I won't give up till the very end. I'm surprised the regular managed to clear all the monsters in one turn. If he chooses the jumping route to end the game sooner, he might be shooting himself in the foot, because if he goes that route, he'll have to face a monster that even Lord Hasracha gave up trying to control. Lord Hasracha, Lord Hasracha. Oh, so we're about to see Hasracha's story here for a little bit. I want you to wear yourself. Okay, so we see the original Hashrangs didn't really want him to weigh himself down. We see it was his idea. He wanted them to be stronger, more proud, more wealthy than the other races. And he wanted them to let him know if they ever needed anything. Yeah, there's it. So no one will ever look down on us again. And we see that he did something so foolish because he loved his people. The idea of patriotism has been disregarded for that chapter. So he shows that patriotism can be a death sentence on its own. Okay, so we get Evankhell's field for the start of this one. Actually, I've been through this and into the next one. Okay, so we see Evankhell thinks that the cat tower is super simple. We can see that Evankhell wanted to deal with this on its own. Someone on the enemy team just managed to escape successfully from the first. Is that right? Division Commander Hasracha and escaped. It seems to me that... Okay, actually I think I've missed a lot of chatter in the story, because it's possible that pages were also blanked out during my computer crash. Okay, so we see they're talking about where Evankhell is trying to get, and I can't tell you where she's trying to get because that will ruin the whole big secret that's going on here. So I'm just going to leave it for a few more chapters, but it is very important. It's actually, I'd say, the most important factor for how the rescue of Chen Sang Ha would go. Even if they reach Chen Sang Ha, if she fails a mission, everybody fails. If she fails a mission and they fail to reach Chen Sang Ha, everybody dies. That's how bad it is. The only goal in this battle is to teach that arrogant guy a lesson. So we see Yasracha's only goal is to kill this guy. Our superiors have already decided how the rest of the game will play out. Okay, so we see that this is already set up. Okay, and now we catch up with Kun, Hockney, Elaine, and Rak. I'm actually shocked that Elaine is part of this. The brain has to stay alive till the very end. Rak, you more like it. I like this, yeah. Kun and Rak having a good mock at each other. Stop making me sound like an idiot. Okay, stop your whining for now and let's head over to the control room, Rak. But what does he mean by brain? Is it Rak made himself look like an idiot. We have to get to the control room before they try to communicate with their field. But I'll let Hockney and his team deal with that. For now, I need to find a mouse. Okay, so here we go. Here's Sona and Nona, whatever their names are, right? So we see they just found a mouse. They're rushing. Hey, Namo, sorry, Namo, and the other one is with an S. I may be stronger, but you're way faster than me. Okay, ever since that day, we haven't let go of each other's hands. I remember this year. We've always held hands in times of trouble. We can see she's so much faster. There are two mice. Oh no. They're going in opposite directions. Which way should we go? Let's split up and go after them. It's not a battle anyway. We're just hunting for mice. We should be fine by ourselves. Wouldn't it be even better if we both get onto the field? I'll see you in a bit. I'll be in the Slayer candidates field. But if you run into enemies, okay, I can catch the mouse in no time. See you on the field. Okay, so that's basically trigger set. Someone's about to die. And there's it. I'll trap it in Shinsu and Chifire Shinsu and lighthouses. Ooh, she isn't a lighthouse user. Who's there? Oh no, it's not Kun. It's commander of the division. You didn't split up, did you? Oh no, a feline. Sure is fast. I hope Sola is okay. She should be fine, right? If we just catch these mice and get out here like Sola said, it would be great. But now that I don't have her hand in mine, something just doesn't feel right. Still, this is no time to show. Oh yeah, here's it. I'll block its path with Shinsu. Someone's about to die. Now if I just catch it. What the? Who did that? I was wondering where that mouse went. Here it is. I saw the mouse first. Let me have it. But I promised to get onto the field. I have something I need to do. The last soul I need to devour is out on that. Ooh, so White is just after Bomb. He just admitted it. Oh crap. You're on the same team. Ooh, there's it. Yep. Rup. I missed your hand. Oh, you can see it. She's feeling pain for her dead comrade. I keep telling everyone I never take sides. You did take sides. You were helped by a bloody regular, so stop acting all cocky. So with this mouse I can go out onto the field, huh? I'm getting excited. I hope no one has already devoured him, jovial Grace. It just keeps jumping around everywhere. Is it trying to make me waste a turn? Then I'll use a bow. I'm not sure if it's because I've made the shape before, but it doesn't seem too hard to make stuff with Shinsu. Oh! With this, I can hit it. Great, it worked. The powers with me have definitely been changing ever since my battle with Calavan. It's only been a short while since then, but it already feels like I can control a surprising amount of Shinsu. I heard from Waryun you pushed yourself too hard during your training. She says you've been so fixated on training that you haven't eaten or rested properly. I know you want to get stronger, but if you keep this up, your body won't last long. What do you think it means to get strong? Being powerful enough to keep your friends out of danger? Some people have the wrong idea. If they just get strong enough, everything will be different. But when they reflect on themselves after getting stronger, they realize they've become far more twisted than they ever wanted. A monster obsessed with only turning their whole body into a weapon and focusing on their defeating the enemies. I know you better than anyone because that's what I did. So we get Jin Sung Ha saying that that's what he did to himself. Even if you want to get stronger for someone else's sake, just don't let that power control you. Always be aware and keep a close eye on your own power. If you can't save yourself, you can't save anyone. What a relief. It looks like no one beat me to him. Participant Palm has won the battle. He will now be taken off the battlefield. Hey Slayer candidate, nice to meet you on the field. White? Has he already gotten out of the cat tower? What's wrong? I'm here making a fool of myself playing this silly game for you. Yet you don't look happy at all. Because I doubt you're here to help me. Ouch, that hurts. I am the one who saved you from Calavan. I want to teach you how to ignite the power within you. Let's continue the fight we started on the hell. Ooh, this idiot. I want to bring out your power. You're asking to die. That's why he came onto my field. I'm curious. I wonder what an irregular soul tastes like. Alright, so let's see, we are on 74. So yeah, this is where I just stopped. I wonder what an irregular soul tastes like. I got this and then it was over, so here we go. Cat and mouse game. I should have known he was after me. What should I do? At this rate, he'll catch up to me in no time. That only leaves me with one option, but there's a map boss on that route. What an interesting situation. What are we gonna do? It's Been 10 minutes. Which way do you want to go in your next turn? Oh, so we see as it. Don't worry, I don't intend to fight you. What? Are you saying you're just going to ignore me and catch the mouse and go onto the bed? Oh, I'm a ranker too, you know. I'll fight you to get that mouse if I have to. That's not what I meant. To be honest, I don't practically want to get involved in this fight. I only came along because I'm in Jahad's army and I didn't have a choice. I don't see why I should put my life on the line for this fight. So I don't really want to go out onto the field and not hurt you. In exchange, I'd like you to do me a favor. Not only canines, but all other species by Yasracha are captured and trapped in this tower. He enjoys collecting them and ruling over them. I want to set them free. Okay, so we're getting his backstory, okay? And so I ended up joining Yasracha's army corps to save my own life, but ever since I became his subordinate, I haven't been able to sleep because I feel so bad for all the animals he's trapped here. Okay, so would you mind opening the prison and setting them free for me while I distract the guards? If you help me escape, I'll let you have the mouse. So it would probably help your team a lot. Okay. If I wanted to kill you, I could do it right now. Since I already have the mouse, so there's no reason to trick you. If you just open the door to the prison, all of the other species will pour out, and the guards won't be able to contain them. Oh, something is up with him. Shibisu and Hats. I thought I was a goner. This isn't the place you want to be for a very long time. Aren't you those little regulars? New Division Commander Arya is there, and oh my goodness, it's Shibisu and Hats for Serenka. And set your reps up for one of these two. If you have a comment on it, set a rep for who you think is gonna die, Shibisu or Hats. It's a high ranker, highly unlikely that either of them survive this. So okay, and in case anybody doesn't know this, I troll quite a bit. I troll endings, and I troll a little bit on my theories as well. Some of my theories are serious, and that's just so that I don't spoil the story 100%. Like talking about Balm's power up, I didn't talk about the fact that Ishinsu Black Hole's Sphere can get more than just a quality. It can get a shape. No, we already know that it has a quality and a shape. I didn't explain that his Black Hole Sphere can transform into new levels and go further and further up with more and more power. That wasn't explained yet because I didn't want to explain it at the time when he was fighting with Calavan. I'm glad I ran into you two though. This buys me a bit more alone time. She's so fast. Is this sword for decoration? This one looks way better than the one you're holding. This is bad. She's too fast to keep up with. We don't stand a chance against her. Leave them alone. They're the Slayer candidates' friends. Who are you? Slab. Thud. Man, I've got pretty strong legs. But yours are incredible. If your legs are so strong, I'll go for your head next time. Let's just stop here. There's no point fighting like this when there isn't even a mouse around. Besides, it would be worse for you if I attacked the regulars. Honestly, I didn't think someone as strong as you would come to help them. It seems a bit too soon to become one with the other people after being hidden away for so long. Oh, so she said some confusing stuff and they're gonna let her run off. See you again later, if you're still alive. Although I'm not sure if I'll still look like this then. And by the way, I wouldn't mess with that guy who has white hair and dark skin if I were you. What a weirdo. Ciao, my brother. Thank you for helping us. You barely know you. Okay. Now let's go find the mouse. Alright. There was an enemy right in front of us and we're helpless. White hair and dark skin. Oh, so you pulled that guy's body into him. My goal is Jovial Grace. The prison door is opening. You may now begin the battle. Sure is noisy, unlike his father. Okay, he looks bored. Let's go give him a present. This is a prison on your route. Would you like to open it? Just hurry up and open this. Kind of scary. The prison is now opening. You may now begin the battle. I told you when you started, remember, I prepared a little present for you along the way. Go ahead and open it. That voice. Yes, Racha. This is my gift to you, Yama. Ooh, there's it. Fight straight up. I'm so excited to tear you to pieces. My heart feels like it's going to explode, Kitty. Such a simple. Okay, so there we go. Yama's fight was just Racha is about to start. Alright. Alright, here we go. Battle Royale. If you think you can beat me with your little time trick, I'm going to make you regret coming at me first. Lethal move. Atomic strike. Woo. I fought a lot of enemies before, but I've never wanted to kill someone as badly as I want to kill you. Even the sight of you makes my blood boil. The Canaans aren't the only ones with the power you call transformation. I can do it too. What are you talking about? Alright, let's get this here over with. This fight is gonna be crazy. So your text is simple like your father. Don't talk about my father. I know you're the one who killed him. Don't you dare say anything about him. Special skill. Purple Dragon Strike. His attack just came alive. Impressive power. He's just like his father in that respect. Have both arms finally finished transforming. Only 5 minutes left. Complete transformation of Yama's arms. Blades of Rage. Okay, let's see, where is it going. Sorry about that. My phone is just ringing like crazy with notifications right now. Okay, so he's stronger. I can't cancel out his attacks now. Alright, here comes more assaults. Okay. It's almost like you're avoiding a complete transformation. Don't make assumptions about me. You'll be dead anyway before I need the transform my whole body. Okay, so let's continue down this. Lethal move. Wild wave. I can't stop this. Flash. Did he just instantly change the type of transformation? You can run, but you can't hide. His power is growing with every attack, but he is always one step behind. If your strategy is to keep running away and run down the clock, I'll just have to stop you from running away. External transformation. You can do the same kind of transformation as Doom. With a silly little trick like this. Is he mocking me, or does he genuinely think this will work? Either way, it's pathetic. Ah, there's some missing. Just had to happen. You think I can't do the same thing? Ooh. But it looks like you need to be taught a lesson. And you keep saying I'm running away, but it seems to me like you're the one who's too afraid to attack. Maybe I have been avoiding a head to head fight with him. It seems to keep getting bigger and bigger. What on earth is this feeling? That our true masters of their territory can never feel. The right to not be dominated by anyone. This is a right that only a special few in the tower have. Your father had that right too. I was surprised when I first found out that you have it. But unfortunately, it looks like you're going to lose that right to me. I found your brother Doom trying to run away with you and your brother. To save you. Paul was a baby. I decided to plant an eternal fear in you, so I asked Doom if he would like me to spare you all on one condition, and he accepted. And that day, I planted a fang in you which would bind you forever. You canines will never escape my grasp. My transformation is coming undone. Did you know that when what distinguishes animals that can never be tamed? Tamed animals want control, but untamed animals want freedom more than comfort. You are like a newborn kitten that's just come into the world trembling with fear. You couldn't catch me with such petty attacks, even if you had a century. Wild blades of rage. Okay, so he's attacking. Purple dragon strike. Also, we see as Racha can pull his transformation of that feeling that you're so much smaller than your opponent, with chills running all through your body, leaving you feeling completely helpless and weak. It's something you've never felt before. It's called fear. Your attacks are so weak. It's a survival instinct. No animal can fight that instinct. It's only natural for you to fear me. Hoo hoo hoo. Get on your knees and beg for your life. If you do, I'll let you go just this once. Okay, I need to start moving faster through this before a power outage hits me in 36 minutes. So yeah, let's go. Beg for your life, Yama. If you do, I'll let you go just this once. Alright, all out fight. 10 minutes are up, the turn is over. Participants, please choose the number of squares and directions to which you're going to move. Even when this battle is over, it'll be impossible for you to get to where I am on your own. Say you regret challenging me and promise that you'll go back and be a good boy and never fight Jihad's army. If you get on your knees and promise that, I'll let you walk away from here alive. No. I'll never beg you for anything. The Slayer candidate would be happier to see his companions on the field with him than me. If I left first and something happened to you two, I could never face him again. Okay. The one who spoke to free me of my companions, but unfortunately that was too much of a burden for anyone to carry. As you said, Hats, you, the Slayer candidates, are friends. If walking by his side is what you want, I'm sure you'll be able to. The body follows what the mind wants. By the way, he's a feline, right? Doesn't that make him part animal too? Okay, so we see some weird explanation of why Yasracha catches other animals. As long as I've known Yasracha, he'd never been very interested in mingling with other races. All he wants is to conquer them. Perhaps the commander is more of a wild beast than simply an animal. Okay. Is this the place with the pyramid? Yes, down there. Oh, okay. They're robots, so they don't listen to anyone but the division commander and Lord Yasracha. Don't worry, I have a plan. It's not as hard as you think. The pyramid has a door lock and can open and close all the cell doors at once. I'll tell you where the door lock is and give you the password. But what if the guards catch us? Don't worry, I'm a division commander, remember? I'll gather them on the opposite side of the room and distract them until you unlock the door. Okay, shall we begin? I'm not really sure if he can be trusted. We have a new recruit in the prison, and this time it's a human. Hurry, run, come on. Ooh. Wait a minute. Trick me? Are you saying I lied? I brought you to the pyramid with the canines in it and even gave you the password to the door. But you don't tell me that you brainwash them. That's more of an omission than a lie, isn't it? I told you, Lord Rasacha enjoys creating and ruling over his own territory. I am the same. Rather than kill you, I'd rather dominate you. Ooh. There they are. Well, we'll help you. Regulars, how are you two going to help me? What could you possibly do? My savior, the hero of the war. I'm kind of offended. Can you blame her? That guy's a high rank. You two stay here. I'll go down. Ooh, this guy moves fast. And he transformed. Missing an image. I knew it. Oh, that's all that was missing. Okay, never mind. He totally changed himself. Can felines use something like the canine's transformation too? He looked kind of silly though. He looked kind of dorky, not gonna lie. Watch out, regulars. Don't stare at them. I think those reeds can hypnotize you. That feline is like a giant enema. I want to touch. Is it because of that sword? Ooh. To avoid killing those other races, possibly. I think your sword has the power to block that feline's hypnotism. Can you ignite your sword to wake up these creatures just for a brief moment? Then I'll take out the division commander. Donghae is so dangerous that it could even kill me. But if that's what it takes to be worthy of standing by Bam's side, if I can just be bold enough, I want to do it. Obey my will. Withstand this power. Donghae, ignite. Oh, we get to see Donghae ignite after so long. It's such a long-lasting threat. The one he left against Lopobia, Liliel, and Shiliel. Oh, okay. As an indirect descendant. Oh, so he's from one of the 10 great families. After becoming a regular and climbing up the tower, I chose to become an enema. Rabbits came down to the village in search of food, so we temporarily locked every door in the village. As I expected, the rabbits swarmed the spot, and I went there every day and gave the rabbits food myself. At first, most of the giant's rabbits avoided me. Suddenly, a lot of the giant rabbits were dead around the village. There were flashes of light in the mountain, some loud noises. Then Yasracha came back with the unconscious monster. Yasracha told them that the wild animals are dangerous and shouldn't be tamed. He said that they can only be overpowered or killed. And he told the villagers that the giant rabbits must be eliminated from the village to prevent such a monster from reappearing. So that I had to tell him that I believe that his violent ways were wrong, even if it meant endangering my own life. Do you really think your approach is any less violent than mine? I went with Yasracha. The rabbits were their food. Those beasts have been feeding on the giant rabbits for ages. What people like you actually want is complete control over others. Okay? Stop being such a hypocrite. Alright, and we're back to this fight. It's really pointless that one. They're just showing that his real nature is he just wants to be a selfish ruler over everything. That's why he was so concerned with nature conservation. Not really that it's wrong, but it's quite true. Nature conservation is generally when you want to control everything. The sword, yes, it's a sword. It's from Mulai Xing, not me. They seem to have chosen it really carefully because you're Balm's companion and want to give you something that would be useful. It's an ignition weapon. But the sword is very proud, so it doesn't listen to people who are too strong. Its strength and abilities also change depending on the situation and its mood. And many rankers have died trying to ignite the sword. Don't take that sword out or try to ignite it unless you absolutely have to. If you don't ask for anyone, I'm sure the sword will help me. Donghei, ignite. Just once. I can't take any more than that. Just this once. Please walk. I think that's Donghei's ignition. I'm not 100% sure on it myself. But yeah, 77. I just need to get through these pages quickly. What's going on? My days, it's getting weaker. How could a regular break my spell? Thanks for the chance, Huts. I won't let it go to waste. Okay, I'm less than halfway through this. I can't believe it. Lethal move. Terram. I don't know. Swoosh. I can't believe keeping so many hostages in that pyramid. You're not just twisted. You're evil. supposed to protect me. I'm your master. One day it suddenly occurred to me that the dumber and more basic the animal is, the more it requires its legs. It's also occurred to me that I can get around just fine without using my legs. My job is to command others, not to move myself. I don't have to walk, so I decided not to. That would be such a foolish choice to make for an animal whose life revolves around survival and evolution. Yet it's also a very human choice. Lost his head. Kendrick? Dale, I don't know which family it is. Feels like my insides are going to explode from the pressure. Can't be stronger than a legendary high rank. I suppose that makes sense, but you'll probably regret it. White is going to catch up to me eventually unless I take this route. I don't have a chance of beating White right now. It's better to go with the route that has at least a slightly better odd, even if it's an unknown factor. Alright. Yeah, hurry. Prison is a middle area beast that even rankers were afraid of. You still haven't really used your power if it was within you. I'm not interested in hearing what a nasty person like you has to say. Its horn got even bigger. Until you set your powers on fire. Ruthless predator since birth. I was stained. Okay, blood-soaked crown. You're the same as me. I want to see you get drunk on your own enormous power and put on this bloodstained crown yourself. I want to see you corrupted by great power. Okay, so we see that's what White is after. He wants to basically vindicate himself of becoming evil. He wants to see someone else go through the same transformation. Over time, our bodies and soul began to rot away. Someone used a special man to cast a spell of immortality on us. We become one with that man, and after a certain amount of time, we are reborn as individuals. Okay, right, so he's reabsorbing them. These chapters felt so short when I read them when they first came out, and I'm shocked at how long they are. A mouse, and here we go. I did it. There's no prison in front of the jumping pad now. If I keep going on this way, I can reach the map boss without having to face white. Wait, who would put their life on the line just for a few lessons? Like a herring being chased by a catfish. The threat of me chasing you helped you push ahead. Somehow you managed to get stronger even during that brief period. You've gotten big now, that you'll explode with even the slightest provocation. Is that great? This looks like the field, an enemy. You must be the Slayer candidate. Oh no. I'm screwed. If you block him for me, I won't hurt you. This is ridiculous. Baam just put up a fight against Calavan, and now he's gonna have a tough time with this commander. I'm surrounded on both sides. Even the next turn starts, reach the jumping pad. Okay. Right, I need to move faster, otherwise I'm not gonna keep power. I've got 6 minutes. I don't have a choice. I have to keep moving forward. What on earth? Whoop. But that power of his, is he really just a regular? You're really starting to get on my nerves. Look at this fight. You're pretty strong for a regular, but you're up against the division commander of Jahad's army. Shinsu Black Hole's fear. There's no stopping that assault. And the thorn is out. Strange. Wait, stop. Wait. Hold on. Have to stop him. Tell me. What did you do to me just now? That flash of light just now, I mean, you have some kind of special power, don't you? She's talking about the Shinsu Black Hole Sphere. Oh, right, yeah, I have some kind of... I need this, kid. I'm going to need that power of yours. What do you say? If you promise to help me, I'll help you avoid that white guy at the finish line. Okay, I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm gonna go to the bottom. I'm gonna come back to where I was. The reason is pretty simple. I need more reading platform before my time runs out. Okay, so here we go. I'll help you avoid white and get to the finish line. In exchange, you reach the finish line, use your power to free me from my bond, then we'll go our separate ways. Lives I have to take. Is here. Alright, let's move on to the next one. 79. I'm just gonna do this 2 or 3 times. This will let me load up quite a bit more. This one you might cut out, so it might be part of the next episode. If that is the situation, then sorry about that, but you'll know because I'll just say the power cut. Okay, same field as me. And here she goes. I'll just have to try to last 10 minutes. I shall tell your entire body to pieces to see whether you can heal the rest of your body too. Imagine a regular blocking my sword. What on earth is the rule you're exempt for? Or do any rules apply to you at all? Ooh, Battle Royale. Creepy look in his eyes. And yet you block and avoid attacks like it's nothing. You really are full of surprises. And I don't like it. Okay, here we go. So there's a lot to talk about on this here, and I've been really slow because I didn't realize how long these chapters were. That regular is way slower than me, and yet it's almost like he can predict what its sword is going to be. He's trying to get me all worked up. He clearly just wants to drag this out as much as possible. I bet he wants to draw out more of the power before devouring me. It's only been 1 minute so far. He's so evil. I have to survive somehow. Is that all you've got, or you whet my appetite? Twice. But why would a legendary high rank feel inferior to a regular? Draining as it may be, I'll have to use Shinsu Black Hole Sphere. Ooh. Okay, so we see white. If I can't get my father's acknowledgement, then there's no point in working so hard to come this far. So we see this is why white hates Bam so much. You see, white was so desperate. I hate you now. The blood never comes off my hands because of you. It's all your fault. That unchanging look in your eyes always comes with so much struggle. But giving into corruption is so easy. It reminds me so much of my father. So we see that he hates the irregulars have that unnatural amount of power granted to them from the very start. As I said, this here could be the end, just like any other point when I have read right now. So are we getting the rest of that fight? No, we're getting a switch over. Unlike you felines, we canines have something called pride. So we're off to Yama. Okay, so there's a lot to talk about as soon as this is over. I hope you won't regret your decision. Transcendent skill, canine destruction. Not a bad attack. Why are you so surprised? I already told you this is how the battle is going to end. I planted fear in you, and that's why your attacks don't work against me. I told you I'd spare you if you beg for your life. A complete transformation. This is the complete transformation. Pure primal fear. I'm scared. Whew. Yama cried out. He roared as though he wanted to release all the fear in him. The more he shouted, the stronger the fear became. And yes, the attack is coming in. Slash. We're not getting a lot of clear pictures, we're just getting a lot of flashy stuff, and there's it, a hit to Yama. And he's flying backwards. Complete transformation over him. Next time you want to act out like that, be careful who you mess with. Oh, there's it, you can see Yama's fear. Alright, so we have a lot to talk about. You see, the Bam vs White fight is something that just doesn't make enough sense. We know Bam can put up a fight against Calavan. We know Calavan was outdone by White, so yes, White should be able to push Bam back on the back foot. But with all of this, we get this whole thing where the power scaling hasn't been set, right? We know Bam is supposed to be ridiculously powerful because he could actually defend against those attacks, and we already know that Bam has interactions with Kunran and Novik, so he would have gotten the same piece of advice. Don't try and avoid the white style sword technique. Tank it and face off your opponent head on. And Bam can do that there if he uses a crazy Black Hole Shinsu boost or something like that to boost up his body. But obviously that would mean he'd have to change the nature of the Black Hole Sphere and use it as a boost instead of as the way he normally uses it as a wave controller. Wave controllers can dominate all Shinsu on the field, so he most definitely could stop the Aries sword from moving if he learns how to use his Black Hole Sphere properly. But there is a problem with White Style. White Style is actually soul burning, it's not Shinsu. So he's not going to be able to cancel that out. Remember, it's a rare power, it's outside the regular. So Bam would have to really do something special to get around it. And that was one of the things that was really impacting that section of the story. The other part is Yama versus Yasracha. They already timed out that fight, and then they redid the last few seconds of it to put Yama on the back foot against Yasracha. I don't get why it was so important to put him on the back foot like that. We already got that Yasracha is being more powerful and he was holding back. All Yasracha needed to do was power up and show him that he had that much more power. And that's all that was really needed. But we ended up with this weird in-between transformation states and all of these fights, and nothing was really done at that point. That's what really got a lot of readers upset. And although these chapters were way longer than I thought they were, there isn't that much of content in them. If you're counting the past fights and everything that happened in the Hell Train against this year, when Bam was fighting with the other Mad Dog and the other members of Fug, those fights happened so quickly compared to this. This is slow, it's getting dragged out, it's really a massive waste in a lot of ways. And I know a lot of people are feeling that when they're reading through the book, the comic. And I can see why they can feel like it's not going anywhere. There was progression in a lot of it, but the Hasracha fight and the other commander, Dial, Kendrick, whatever his name is, those fights were so drawn out and just flashbacks. The flashbacks give us some indication on Yasracha liking to dominate and rule over everything, but we don't have enough of a reason. We could get that straight from Yasracha instead of getting it from guys who are about to die. It was pointless in a way, and I get why people complained about it, but it's up to the author to decide how he's going to flesh out pieces of a person's story, showing us how they think and where they're good and where they're bad. Yasracha has a higher understanding of things, so he likes going with the full flow of nature instead of just controlling one aspect. We saw that there with Kendrick, and with Hasracha we saw that he likes to show people the futility in their actions. So yeah, that was the whole point behind those two, and that's such a small point made with two big stories. It could have obviously been taken towards Yasracha at another point in this fight, and we'd get that there when, like, in the middle of this fight with Yama, he could have done it. Instead of having that long fleshed out sequence of transformation assaults, we could have had a lot better fighting quality in that fight and a little bit of backstory fishing in between it. That would have been far more interesting, because we get to have a bad guy who's still going to be an impact later on in the fight, because he's not going to kill Yama. He wants to torture Yama some more and see if Yama can find a way to try and fight him again. That's the whole idea behind this, and I hope that these types of things aren't such a breaker for everybody. Yeah, you get small parts in the story where you don't like it, like in the Hell Train, when they're going from station to station as they're going up, it was pointless and boring, right? But I understood why they did it, because they needed to bring in Hockney for the Floor of Death. That was pointless. Name Hunt Station, that was an amazing little mini arc. I enjoyed it, to be honest. And when we compare those to this year, because remember, that's where SIU was. That's the level he reached. This is just when he comes off hiatus. He really ruined the pacing of his book with that hiatus. Obviously, there's nothing you can do about it. And I did say that he ruined his pacing. That's because his pacing wasn't being pushed so hard, and because he's trying to push himself hard and match the quantity, he ended up ruining the quality of his works for a little bit. But that's just a learning curve. He could do what he did with the previous ones, but that's going to bust his wrists completely, and I don't think he should do that. I think he should go for smaller chapters with about the same amount of quality as he had before. So high quality smaller chapters, that would be far better than just pushing out these large small chapters. And that's exactly what they are. They're large small chapters, because you could fit in the Bam and Yama fight into one episode if you squish out all of the unnecessary stuff. When he's fighting with the other Renka, one or two hits, and then Bam uses Black Hole Shinsu Sphere. There we go. There's no dialing back or nerfing Bam every time he gets into a fight with somebody so that it's more understandable for him to draw. It's pointless at this point in the story. I hope that people don't disagree with me too much, but yeah, those were things that were really negative on this year. And Bam gets nerfed quite a bit. Remember, when we start off in season 1, his power is so crazy that with the Shinsu powers and everything that he has, is approaching Enderosi's level. He manages to kill the bull, which is a very powerful creature. It's supposed to be just on that level of inkling of danger to a Renka. Right? Then we get floor 20, he ties with Mule Love. Right? Then we say that he isn't fighting full force. Then we get his fight with Yurik, and he scratches Yurik. And Yurik is so strong that you basically have to be 1% of his power to just scratch him. And we get that that's his power, and we get that Renkas aren't even 0.01% of his power. And then we go up to the next section in the Hell Train, and he's fighting this legendary Slayer's Remnants, who are way stronger than a D rank regular. They're most probably as powerful as a Renka. And then we see his clone is advanced Renka level, and she transfers her power to Bam, so Bam should have that power. And that doesn't end up reflecting on him. He just ends up being regular between Renka level, right? So he's between B and A class as he stands in that section. Then he goes to the floor of death, and with all the training he goes through, he's still only on that A and B class level, but he's now got Shinsu Black Hole Sphere, which can erase Renka's assault. So yeah, something really crazy. Then we get further on, we get Hidden Floor, and he goes well beyond the limits. He refines his Shinsu control skills. He gets way more powerful. He improves his quality, improves his skills, improves a complete revolution. He learns to use his Thorn Fragment. The second Thorn Fragment starts to join in, and he just goes crazy to levels of power that are beyond where he should be. And then all of a sudden we get this retcon that he's not as powerful as Renkas. And then we see that if he ignites his power, he can be as powerful as Renkas. Okay, so all the training didn't bring up his base. Shouldn't his Shinsu be more powerful and more attracted to him? Shouldn't he have that power in between that Renka level and advanced Renka already? Because remember, he also has the souls within him. And then we get the next part of this craziness where he only manages to take on Charlie and the commander, and he shatters their attacks like it's nothing with the Black March. Then we get him hurting Calavan, who's so powerful that it's almost impossible to hurt him. So we know that he's not that weak. We get the hint that he's that powerful. Then he refines his power for a whole lot of time, and he's just in the breaking point of Renkas and advanced Renkas. He can fight in there. And then he gets onto the field and he's putting up a fight with Calavan. He can even tank Calavan's 2 or 3 hits, which is a big feat. That puts him in ranks which are way higher. Like in the high rankers, in the entry levels, they're 500. And that's 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots that makes him way higher. He can hurt Calavan, which we saw because of the wounds that he's inflicting on his hand. And then we see White having to have to push out a whole lot of power just to match that type of energy, just to get rid of 1 of Calavan's hands. So yeah, that's the whole thing that happened there. So Bam does go through a lot of nerfs, and we have to keep watching this. Bam goes down, comes up, goes down, comes up, goes down, comes up. honestly, he's gonna fight White now. We know that Balm isn't gonna die because he's the main character. And when Balm goes to that level, what is he going to be weaker than Calavan the next time he faces Calavan? Is the next enemy he faces going to be so much more powerful than the top 50? That means he can only be one of 50 individuals in that league, of which we know 10 of the ranks over there. So we know he can only be between 40 people in the entire tower. And you telling me he's going to see the top 40 at this point in the climb up? It's kind of crazy that he's going to be tied down to that power, and only those people are going to stop him. But yeah, that's where it is. I hope that you all did enjoy, and this has been a little bit of a longer episode from me. So catch you all in the next one. Have a good day.